Welcome everyone to Chapter 4, Section 1. Our key concept here is that congruent polygons have congruent corresponding parts. So all that means is really if you have a 12-inch ruler and then another 12-inch ruler and they're congruent, all the lengths would be the same. So now we're talking about polygons here. We have AB, which is congruent to EF. And notice the way that the polygons are set up here. A, B, C, D, congruent to E, F, G, H. So every single one of these letters, A, B will be congruent to E, F in that order. Then B, C with F, G. Then C, D with G, H. And then let's go backwards, D, A with H, E. And you'll see that all over here. And then the angles will be the same way. Angle A with angle E, B with F, and going on forward there. So if we have two triangles down here, WYS and MKV, what are the congruent corresponding parts? Well, simple. It'd be angle W with angle M, angle Y with angle K, angle S with angle V, and then the segments would all be the same way we did it before. WY with MK. Alright, moving on to problem 2, using congruent parts. So we have two triangles right down here, and we want to figure out what angle D is right down here. So we have 30 and 75. The matching angle would be F and C, so this would be 75. And then what's left over for this angle? Let's see. 30 and 75, that adds to 105. And subtract from the number of degrees in a triangle, 180, and you get 75 degrees. So B would be your answer. Alright, on to the next page. Alright, so here we have the question, are the triangles congruent? To the right. Let's see, we have a side length of 4 and a side length of 4, side length of 6, side length of 6, and then one tick mark here for the third side and one tick mark here for the third side. So all these sides are congruent from the two triangles. We're good there. And then let's see, one angle curve here and one angle curve here between the same two side lengths over there. Two curves here, two curves here. And let's see, our last angle does not have a curve. Well, these are a certain type of angle, the ones right across from each other, and those are vertical angles. So now all the sides and all the angles are matching up. They are all congruent. So what can we say about the two triangles? Well, by definition, the two triangles are congruent triangles, since all the corresponding parts are congruent. Alright, moving on. So this stuff's pretty easy so far. Let's see. We have the third angles theorem. A pretty simple theorem. If angle A is congruent to angle D in this picture, and angle B is congruent to angle E. So let's see. So far we have two of the three angles congruent in two triangles. What can we say? What do you think will be true about the third angle? C will then be congruent to F. And that makes sense if you just put numbers in. Let's say 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 30, 60. Well, then the two missing angles would both have to be 90 because angles in a triangle add to 180 degrees. And you'll see that theorem written out right here. So I would take a good look at that just to understand what's going on there. Alright, lastly, our last one, proving triangles congruent. So we're doing a similar thing here. This is just in a proof form. But before we even look at this, let's take a look at our given information, which is shown in the picture here. So we have two sides congruent, one set there, and then one set here congruent. Well, let's see, is there a way to show that this side is congruent to the same side? Well, obviously they're congruent if they're the same side. So that's by reflexive property you might remember, and that's displayed down here. And then how about the angles? Well, we have these two angle curves matching. One angle curve here with one angle curve here matching. And let's see, would these last angles be congruent? Yes, they would be, of course, by the third angles theorem, which we just learned. And you'll see that right in number 4 right here. So now we have all angles and sides that are congruent. Therefore, are the triangles congruent, which we were trying to prove? Yes, they are. So again, that's by definition of congruent triangles. So that is it for today. I thank you for listening and look forward to the next lesson.